Thank you very much. As you can see, winners never quit and quitters never win. So, are you a winner or are you a quitter? When you were at school, did you quit? Did you give in? Did you work hard? Same thing, business. Professional athlete, amateur athletes, do they quit? How do they get to where they want to get to? Do they know where they want to get to? And university students are the worst. I can tell you that with the amount I have through my door. So, everything with winning and quitting comes down to state of mind. It's your decision and your state of mind. However, if I can just ask everyone on this table here to stand up for me, please. If I can just, the table at the back here, if you can all just stand up. That is the amount of people in this room that are very quietly struggling with anxiety or depression to a level where they should be getting help. Not everybody is able to ask for it. If I can ask one of you to sit down for me. Anyone, somebody sit down. This is the amount of people that report it. So, are they winners, are they quitters, or are they just not admitting? It's their choice. Thanks, ladies, take a seat. So, it's amazing how many people are struggling at this moment in time. What do? I am, as you can see, hypnotherapist, psychotherapist, sport therapist, mental toughness coach, which is primarily the part that I do within football, and other sports, but I actually, although I work with a couple of boxers and athletes on the track and field, my passion is football. But also walk and talk therapist for those that are in an office. They don't get out often. It's actually nice to actually get out, walk and talk, regardless of weather. And biggest thing of all for me, football mum. Trying to fit everything else in around that is hard work. So, sports therapist for over 20 years. I qualified at a club in London, loved it. I wanted to be the first professional female therapist in sports, and because of course I qualified there, they refused to pay me, so I got the earache, so I moved to another club. Whilst I was moving to another club, they took someone else on, so I missed the first female. However, thoroughly enjoyed it, learned from it. You can't have a family and travel with the first team football club. So I decided I'd walk away. Set up 5 clinics in London in your 20s, best years of my life. One of them was a celebrity clinic. Right time, right place, I was living my best life. That's when I decided I'm a winner. No matter what, not just qualifications, not desires, right time, right place. Coming in here, meeting you guys, who knows what the future's gonna hold. I'm gonna win. Don't know what I'm gonna win at yet, but I'm gonna win. That's my state of mind every single time. Hypnotherapy, sports therapy. So, how did that come about? I think from when I moved to the second football club, it became apparent every single person that I saw, if you were injured, not only do you have an injury, it's now bothering you because you can't do certain things. I just get talking to you, you've got certain issues, your mother may be ill. Every single person I spoke to had, I hate that expression, mental health issues. Could be severe, could be minimal. I decided, instead of being physical, which you can't do when you're 70, who would want to come and see me for a sports massage at 70? But you can for psychotherapy, hypnotherapy. So I trained to help the brain. So I then became a physical and mental health coach, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And aside of all that, a football mum. My lad, as we just spoke about earlier, he started with the guy who partly owns this club. It was Worcester Colts at the time. Under sevens, I think he was. Absolutely loved it. Goalkeeper cried every time the ball went in the goal. Clearly not cut out for that job. Simon, being the guy that he is, worked really well with him. Single parent, only child, and this guy was spending so much time with my son. Everyone else has made a mistake for the ball to get to you, you're a goalkeeper, etc. And I just watched and thought, that's what I want to do. How do I do it? Decided to do this hypnotherapy, psychotherapy. My son has been brought up around it. It's naturally that way. He quite often gets what he wants and seems a sport brat. Actually, he just knows how the brain works and puts you into a corner and can manipulate any situation. With that, he started at Worcester Colts. He's worked his way up, mentally, physically, quite a few injuries along the way. He's now up at West Brom. This is my 9th season, so my second home is the M5. Absolutely loves it, and he's just had his first cap for England. for the under 17s. So he's doing extremely well, but of course, trying to work hypnotherapy, psychotherapy around a full-time football mum is huge. However, one has fed through from the other, hence I have so many footballers approach me now, because ladies, men don't talk. They don't want to talk. So, mental health facts, as I say, 1 in 4 experience mental health problems of some kind, 1 in 6 actually report it. The mental ill health equates to double the NHS's entire budget in England in 2022. It's 153 billion. That equates to COVID-19 economy. So that's the cost of mental health is the equivalent to having a pandemic every single year. So if people like myself could get into schools, year 7, year 9 and year 11, to teach the kids how to cope with these things, that obviously would come down. You've got the NHS therapist mental health list is a year at the moment. Minimum of a year, quite often it's 18 months. And CAMS, which is the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service, is 18 months. I've had a few clients come to me lately where they've been turned away because their case isn't severe enough. If you are self-harming, that's a severe case. But actually there's so many people with different issues that they are able to pick who they want and who they don't want. So I'm desperate trying to spread the word to help people. Okay? Very briefly, what do I actually do? There's the brain. To make it quite simple, when someone comes to see me, the first initial consultation is I educate you with how your brain works. I don't want you to have to come and see me forever and a day. If I teach you, you can control it. I will always refer to an upstairs and a downstairs. Child-friendly, also good for adults. This is the part that you know is you, the part that we're using to be aware of our interactions together now. You've got obviously the brain is lots and lots of different compartments in it. However, you've got the hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus. Don't want to go into too much detail, but this is for panic attacks, flight, fright, freeze, do you run, and also this is your behavioural experiences and patterns. This is you. Anything that you do that's wrong, it goes to here. If you have any addictions, if you do anything naughty, if you have any phobias, it's a learnt behaviour. So you'll be working from the downstairs part of your brain. The downstairs is negative. Every person in here right now is working from upstairs because you're all listening, and this is the upstairs happy part. If you're working from upstairs, you can only be happy and in control. If you're downstairs, you can only be negative. Anxiety is forward thinking, which is somewhere down here. So if you're downstairs, you can only be angry, anxious or depressed. However, when you're born, you have 2 things in life: fear of falling, fear of noise. Everything else is learnt. As soon as you learn something new, you move from here and somewhere downstairs. The thing that we've lost is the ability to cope with this and live back upstairs. That's the problem with the world at the moment. So, imagine if you left here today, you ran into a polar bear. What would happen? Your anxiety would go up, you lose intellectual control, so you move from the happy part of the brain to the angry, anxious, depressed part, and hopefully you'd run. If not, doesn't that look cute? Go and stroke it, we are no longer. So we clearly need the downstairs part of our brain. However, that's the part that causes us problems. What do? We are designed to be a caveman, hunt and gather. We don't have to hunt and gather anymore, the world's changed. We have cars, Tesco's, houses, heating, etc. So when we don't move, like this man here, we're usually laying in bed depressed, watching Netflix, etc. That's because you're working from the downstairs part of the brain. But how do you change that? When you lose your temper, we're designed to get angry because we're supposed to increase our strength to defend ourselves against wild animals and wild tribesmen. We don't do that anymore, but we still do this and this. This equates to kids getting expelled from school or ending up in prison or fights or whatever the problem is. How do we change all of this? It is quite simply positive thinking. If I said to you, all of you now, just in your mind, think of 3 positives. Just think of 3 positive things in your life right now. Has anybody can't do it? Fabulous, because all you've done now, where you were listening to me, the downstairs part of your brain, because this is negative, I've just flipped you to the upstairs part. You thought positively. It is that simple. To override anxiety and depression is positivity. That sounds so cliche these days. However, it's generally true. The hard part is learning to do that consistently. And that's my job, to teach people how to do that. So, these are the different things that I work with, and a lot more besides. Absolutely love my job, and wouldn't have it any other way. However, how do I work? I'd love to say I work with the clock and watch the clock. I've never actually seen that in live, but I would like to. That's not what I do at all. Imagine if you left here today and you drove home. You won't get home and think, I remember that left-hand turn and that right-hand turn, because you do it subconsciously. It's your conscious mind that is making you think and talk and act. The subconscious gets you home. What I do is I get the conscious, subconscious, unconscious mind to come together. That's when you're in control. The problem these days is the world's evolved so much. We are required to be here, be there, do this, do that, all at the same time, that these two minds are in different places. That is all that's causing the anxiety in the world. So I want to help youngsters, athletes, and women of a certain age, primarily, understand that when their brain comes together, they are more in control. What I do is I offer usually it's a 6-week workshop, one-to-one sessions, online, etc. And I want to try and spread the word. Okay? So, my initial question was, are you a winner or a quitter? If you are, what do you want to be? Do you know what you want to achieve? If you don't know what you want to achieve, you can't get there. If you can't get there, you can't control the brain. You have to have somewhere, a goal in life. I know I'm a winner, no ifs, buts or maybes. And I choose to win at everything in life. Not because I'm spoiled, because I'm so focused and driven and I know that's how to control things. So how do I remain a winner at all times, and where's my proof? Proof's in the pudding, as they say. I've gained the qualifications I wanted. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. I absolutely love my... If I was to win the lottery, I would still do what I'm doing now. I absolutely love my job. I started working for myself 20 years ago, I must be honest. I had the most viral boss ever, and I said, thank you very much for teaching me that I will never work for anyone again. And you're exactly what I will never be. So thanks to him. Successfully brought up my son so far, fingers crossed. He's doing one of most things. And he's fulfilling his dreams, as I say. He's gone all the way to the top. At his age, who knows where it's going to go. He's only ever one injury away from never playing again, blah, blah, blah. But at this moment in time, you can't ask for more, and he has the full support. So what makes me a winner? What makes me different to those who struggle? It's just my state of mind. It's literally my state of mind. No matter what, the opposite to salt to pepper, black is white, right, wrong, etc. Find me a problem and I will always come to you with a solution. Because I never quit. Because winners never quit and quitters never win. So all I want you guys to do is think about which one you are. When you think about which one you are, you can head in the right direction and you will always remain in control, which would halve the anxiety in this room. Who has any questions? Someone would have a question.
What did you say earlier about when we're born, we've got a fear of falling
and a fear of loud noises.
And that's it?
That's it.
How is that proven? How do we know that?
I'm not a scientist. Scientifically,
You said any questions? I'm asking you a question.
I'll give you an answer. Scientists have now said that they don't have any fear, the only things the two fears that they have are those, and the reason that they are causing us problems, for example, the reason that they are backing that up is, I think it was a woman hoovering, the most random thing. Doesn't like the noise, they turn that off. Then they worked with colours, carpets, etc, etc, etc. And that was the proof mentally, how they actually get the only two, I don't know, but how they get, that's the proof that they got mentally with the limit that they could take a child to. So obviously then scientific went on from I remember it was something to do with colour pink. Do you know, I'm going to find out the answer for you, because I remember it was something to do with the colour pink, and there was proof. And the scientist, it was about 100 years ago, because my supervisor told me the answer to the day and I can't remember it. So I'm going to find out the answer to that, the exact scientific answer for you. Women, who's got children, young children here? Has anyone got young children? Yeah. Do they cry every time I walk away?
No, not anymore. They're not actually that young.
Oh, okay.
They used to, yeah, probably.
Yeah, because we all create the problems for ourselves. The learnt behaviour, when you're upstairs part of your brain, the learnt behaviour is mum walks away. So of course you have to go back, and mum says, oh, I can't even hoover, I can't do this, I can't do that, I have to hold them all the time. No, it's just a learnt behaviour, you have to change that one thing. But as soon as you put a loud noise, horses bolting, it's exactly the same thing, animals and children. As soon as you hear that loud noise, then you cannot control them. Anything else you can teach them, but you cannot override the loud noise or the falling within a child. And I think that's under 6 years of age. Who's got any other questions? Hello. Yeah.
So news about what you have when you bought from the two feelers. Obviously that can change, can't it, as time goes on?
Absolutely.
Through certain experiences that happen in your life.
Yep.
So for me, I never experienced panic attacks or the feeling of being claustrophobic, so I won't go into this, but when I lost my dad, which was very traumatic, and had to have my hip redone twice in a matter of 5 years, everything just went poof like that, and my anxiety went through the ceiling.
So we have something in us which we would refer to as a stress bucket.
Yeah.
And every day your stress bucket overflows, so it goes straight to the top. If your stress bucket overflows completely, you have no space to put anything else in. So basically it's a vicious circle. As I say, I explain it in the initial consultation, but we teach you to lower your stress bucket, which then supports REM sleep, because when you have REM sleep, that also helps you lower your stress bucket. You do that via positive thinking, because if you're thinking positively, you can only be in the upstairs part of your brain, and it breaks the cycle of your learning and that phobia or habit, because a phobia or habit can only be the downstairs part of your brain. So by teaching you to override that will change your habit.
I've had lots of hypnotherapy
Uh-huh.
over the years, which is obviously I know about the bucket and full of empty and everything, and it's really helped me. But a lot of it now is me thinking I am in control. I have to be in control
Right.
to deal with situations. I still haven't conquered the lifts,
Yeah.
which is still a bit difficult. But a lot of other things I'm much better than I was because I've become really strong myself.
So you're saying that you don't want to be, you're too in control, is that what you're saying?
Well, let's put it this way: I don't like to be a passenger in a car.
Okay.
I like to be in control. I
Why
want
is
to
that?
drive. Because I got trapped in the car. When all this was going
Yeah.
on, I got trapped and I couldn't get out. And I can't cope with that anymore. I have to drive the car.
So I would help you rewire that.
I think I'm coming to see you.
I'd help you rewire that thought. And it is,
Sort my lips out as well, please.
phobia is quite easy to work with.
Okay, brilliant.
Quite
Thank
easy to
you.
work. As long as you believe in and you want the process to work.
Oh, yeah. And
It is
spiders.
just anything else? Yeah, you've got my details. Anybody else? Any yes?
You mentioned who you work with. Do you work with anyone or just specific people?
Anybody at all? So I'm
Friend
not
of mine who's
associated.
Flying phobia does not head in.
Absolutely, I work online and face to face. So however, whatever.
I made that
you
very
work
selfish,
with.
sorry.
That
I
does
made that on
get
me.
headed as well.
No, I went on holiday with them last week and literally like shaking at the airport and
Oh, bless.
had to have, yeah, you were better than me. I wasn't like get for it, but no,
I've had
it's,
4 people in this week, because at the time of year 4 people in this week with
Yeah.
phobias of flying.
yeah.
So
What's the
it's
biggest phobia?
pardon?
What's the biggest phobia?
Snakes.
Snakes.
Would you define that as rational?
Well, this is one of the questions I love, and I always say, I'm going to ask you a question which is my favourite. Do you have any irrational fears? For me personally, snakes isn't irrational. Spiders, okay, in this country it is, but if I ask someone online in Australia, that's not irrational.
Yeah.
It's all relevant.
Yeah.
That
Who's
question.
been your favourite person to work with?
My favourite person to work with.
I don't mean like names necessarily, but like your favourite case or
I helped somebody who was their quote in a straight coat for 7 weeks and didn't feel they needed it. They were 2 weeks out, and I managed to prevent them when they were on the top of a bridge. So I had the police call me up and ask if I can assist them, which I did. That was way beyond what I should possibly do, but I happened to be helping his mum, so the only person he would talk to was myself. I hated it at the time, thinking, what if I get this wrong? However, and I shouldn't have been there with regards to my job, but I wasn't with him, I was with the police. But the whole outcome was the best thing they want. Yeah, most definitely.
Any more?
Just one.
Yes.
Quickie.
Yes.
Can you use hypnotherapy to help people sleep?
Yes, that is the biggest thing. If your brain is waking you up, it's because your stress bucket's too full.
Well, it doesn't. My brain won't let me go to sleep.
You
It
can go
doesn't
to
wake
sleep,
me up.
wake up too early. It's all to do with REM sleep, which is the biggest part of which I work with. Everything I've said today, the bottom line will usually come down to sleep. So you will know when you start to feel better, when you sleep better. But again, it's all taught in the initial consultation, and then all I do is make that become consistent so that you're in control of yourself, not me. Any other questions? Just this one should got me. I'm thinking of that now. I'm going to look at the answer to that.
Deliberate was. Thank you.
Thank you very much.